State job interviews can feel daunting, especially if you're not sure what to expect. In this video, we'll walk you through the most common questions asked during state interviews, helping you prepare with confidence. Whether you're applying for a government administrative role, a technical position, or a public service job, understanding the typical interview structure and question types is crucial. We'll start by exploring why state agencies conduct interviews differently from private companies and what they're really looking for in candidates. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea of how to approach your next state interview and what to focus on in your preparation. State interviews are designed to assess not only your technical skills, but also your alignment with public sector values and your ability to serve the community. Unlike private sector interviews, state agencies often emphasize integrity, accountability, and a commitment to public service. Interviewers want to ensure that candidates understand the mission of the agency and are motivated by more than just a paycheck. This scene will help you understand the underlying goals of the interview process, so you can tailor your answers to reflect the qualities state employers value most. Most state interviews follow a structured format, often with a panel of interviewers. You'll likely be asked a series of predetermined questions, and each candidate is evaluated using the same criteria. This approach ensures fairness and consistency. The panel may include supervisors, HR representatives, and sometimes even future colleagues. Understanding this structure can help you feel more at ease and allow you to focus on delivering clear, concise answers. In this scene, we'll break down what to expect from the moment you walk in to the final handshake. State interviews often begin with introductory questions designed to put you at ease and learn more about your background. You might be asked to tell the panel about yourself, describe your career journey, or explain why you're interested in the position. These questions set the tone for the interview and give you an opportunity to highlight your relevant experience and enthusiasm for public service. It's important to prepare a concise, engaging summary of your background that connects your skills to the job you're applying for. A common question in state interviews is, why do you want to work for this agency? Interviewers want to gauge your genuine interest in the organization and its mission. They're looking for candidates who are motivated by a desire to serve the public and contribute to the community. When answering, focus on what draws you to the agency's work, how your values align with its mission, and what you hope to achieve in the role. Personal stories or experiences that inspired you to pursue public service can make your answer more compelling. Interviewers often ask what you know about the position and its responsibilities. This question tests whether you've done your homework and understand what the job entails. Be ready to discuss the key duties of the role, the skills required, and how your background prepares you to succeed. Demonstrating a clear understanding of the position shows that you're serious about the opportunity and have taken the time to prepare. Behavioral questions are a staple of state interviews. These questions ask you to describe how you've handled situations in the past based on the idea that past behavior predicts future performance. You might hear questions like, tell us about a time you faced a difficult challenge at work, or describe a situation where you had to work as part of a team. The STAR method, situation, task, action, result is a great way to structure your answers and ensure you cover all the important details. State agencies value employees who can work well with others. Expect questions about your experience collaborating with colleagues, resolving conflicts, or contributing to group projects. For example, you might be asked, can you give an example of a time you worked on a team to achieve a goal? When answering, highlight your communication skills, ability to listen, and willingness to support others. Emphasize how your teamwork contributed to a successful outcome. Problem solving is a critical skill in any state job. Interviewers may ask you to describe a time you identified a problem and how you went about solving it. They want to see your analytical thinking, creativity, and persistence. Use specific examples to illustrate your approach, the steps you took, and the results you achieved. Showing that you can handle challenges proactively and effectively will set you apart from other candidates. State agencies often operate in dynamic environments, so adaptability is highly valued. You might be asked, tell us about a time you had to adapt to a significant change at work. When responding, focus on your ability to stay positive, learn new skills, and adjust your approach as needed. Highlight any experiences where you successfully navigated change or helped your team adapt to new circumstances. Clear and effective communication is essential in state jobs. Interviewers may ask about your experience conveying information to different audiences, both verbally and in writing. Be prepared to discuss how you tailor your communication style to suit the situation, whether you're speaking with colleagues, supervisors, or the public. Examples of successful presentations, reports, or conflict resolution can demonstrate your strengths in this area. Many state positions involve serving the public, so customer service skills are often assessed. You might be asked, describe a time you handled a difficult customer or client. Focus on your ability to remain calm, listen actively, and resolve issues professionally. Highlight any experience you have in public-facing roles and your commitment to providing excellent service, even in challenging situations. State agencies place a high value on ethical behavior and integrity. Interviewers may ask about situations where you faced ethical dilemmas or had to make difficult decisions. For example, tell us about a time you witnessed unethical behavior at work. What did you do? When answering, emphasize your commitment to honesty, transparency, and following established policies. Demonstrating strong ethical judgment is essential for public sector roles. Managing time effectively is crucial in state jobs, where workloads can be heavy and deadlines strict. Interviewers may ask, how do you prioritize your tasks when you have multiple deadlines? Share specific strategies used to stay organized, such as creating to-do lists, setting priorities, or using digital tools. Provide examples of how you've successfully managed competing demands in the past. Accuracy and attention to detail are important in many state roles, especially those involving data, compliance, or documentation. You might be asked, describe a time when your attention to detail prevented a mistake. Use this opportunity to showcase your thoroughness, double-checking processes, and commitment to quality work. Real-life examples can help illustrate your reliability and precision. For technical or specialized positions, you may be asked questions that test your specific knowledge or abilities. This could include questions about software, regulations, or procedures relevant to the job. Be ready to discuss your experience with the tools and technologies required and provide examples of how you've applied your technical skills in previous roles. State jobs often require familiarity with laws, regulations, or policies. Interviewers may ask, what regulations are relevant to this position? Or, how do you stay updated on changes in policy? Demonstrate your awareness of the legal and regulatory environment and explain how you ensure compliance in your work. Mention any training or certifications you've completed that are relevant to the role. Working in the public sector can be stressful, especially during busy periods or emergencies. Interviewers may ask, how do you handle stress at work? Or, describe a time you managed a high-pressure situation. Share your coping strategies, such as staying organized, taking breaks, or seeking support from colleagues. Highlight your ability to remain calm and focused under pressure. Even if you're not applying for a management role, state agencies often look for leadership qualities. You might be asked, describe a time you took initiative or led a project. Focus on your ability to motivate others, delegate tasks, and drive results. Examples of mentoring colleagues, leading meetings, or improving processes can demonstrate your leadership potential. Conflict is inevitable in any workplace. State interviewers may ask, tell us about a time you resolved a conflict at work. Use this opportunity to showcase your communication skills, empathy, and problem-solving abilities. Describe the situation, how you approached the conflict, and the positive outcome that resulted from your actions. Diversity and inclusion are important values in state agencies. Interviewers may ask, how have you contributed to a diverse or inclusive workplace? Or, why is diversity important in public service? Share your experiences working with people from different backgrounds and your commitment to creating an inclusive environment. Highlight any initiatives or training you've participated in that promote diversity. State agencies value employees who are committed to continuous learning. You might be asked, how do you keep your skills up to date? Or, describe a time you learned something new for your job. Discuss your approach to professional development, such as attending workshops, pursuing certifications, or seeking feedback. Show that you're proactive about growing your skills and knowledge. Good decision-making is essential in state roles. Interviewers may ask, describe a difficult decision you made at work. Explain your decision-making process, the factors you considered, and the outcome. Highlight your ability to weigh options, consult with others when necessary, and take responsibility for your choices. Many state jobs involve managing projects, large or small. You might be asked, tell us about a project you managed from start to finish. Discuss how you planned, organized, and executed the project, as well as how you handled any challenges. Highlight your ability to coordinate resources, meet deadlines, and deliver results. State agencies appreciate employees who bring new ideas and take initiative. Interviewers may ask, describe a time you suggested an improvement at work. Share examples of how you identified opportunities for change, proposed solutions, and helped implement them. Emphasize your creativity and willingness to go beyond your basic responsibilities. Everyone makes mistakes, but how you handle them matters. You might be asked, tell us about a time you made a mistake at work. Be honest about the situation, explain what you learned, and describe the steps you took to correct it. This shows your accountability, willingness to learn, and commitment to continuous improvement. If you're applying for a supervisory role, expect questions about your experience managing others. You might be asked, how do you motivate your team? Or, Describe your approach to performance management. Share your leadership style, strategies for supporting staff, and examples of how you've helped team members grow. Some state positions require managing budgets or resources. Interviewers may ask, describe your experience with budgeting or resource allocation. Discuss your approach to planning, monitoring expenditures, and ensuring resources are used efficiently. Provide examples of how you've managed budgets or improved resource utilization in previous roles. Data-driven decision-making is increasingly important in state agencies. You might be asked, how have you used data to inform your work? Or, describe a time you analyzed data to solve a problem. Share your experience with data collection, analysis tools, and how your insights led to better outcomes. Some state roles require public speaking or presentations. Interviewers may ask, describe your experience speaking in public or leading meetings. Highlight your ability to communicate clearly, engage audiences, and handle questions. Share examples of successful presentations or training sessions you've led. Confidentiality is critical in many state positions. You might be asked, how do you handle sensitive or confidential information? Discuss your understanding of privacy policies, your approach to safeguarding data, and any relevant training you've completed. Provide examples of how you've maintained confidentiality in past roles. State agencies value employees who can work independently as well as in teams. Interviewers may ask, describe a time you worked independently to achieve a goal. Highlight your self-motivation, time management, and ability to deliver results without constant supervision. Adhering to established procedures is essential in state jobs. You might be asked, describe a time you followed a strict procedure or protocol. Explain the importance of compliance, your attention to detail, and how you ensure accuracy in your work. Juggling multiple tasks is common in state roles. Interviewers may ask, how do you manage competing priorities? Share your strategies for staying organized, setting priorities, and ensuring nothing falls through the cracks. Real-life examples can demonstrate your ability to handle a busy workload. A passion for public service is a key quality state agencies look for. You might be asked, what does public service mean to you? Or, why is serving the community important? Share your personal motivation, values, and any experiences that inspired you to pursue a career in the public sector. Interviewers want to know that you understand and support the agency's mission. You might be asked, how does our mission align with your values? Research the agency beforehand and be ready to discuss how its work resonates with you. Show that you're invested in the agency's goals and eager to contribute. If you have gaps in your employment history, interviewers may ask about them. Be honest and explain what you did during those periods, whether it was further education, volunteering, or personal development. Emphasize how those experiences have prepared you for the role you're seeking. State agencies often look for candidates interested in long-term growth. You might be asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or what are your career goals? Share your aspirations and how you plan to develop your skills within the agency. Show that you're committed to growing with the organization. State jobs often require learning new systems or procedures. Interviewers may ask, how do you approach learning something new? Or describe a time you quickly picked up a new skill. Highlight your adaptability, curiosity, and strategies for mastering new information. Interviewers want to know why you're interested in this particular job, not just any state job. You might be asked, what attracted you to this position? Or why do you think you're a good fit? Tailor your answer to the unique aspects of the role and how your skills and interests align. Some state jobs may require relocation. Interviewers may ask, are you willing to relocate? Or how would you handle moving for this job? Be honest about your willingness and any considerations you have. If you're open to relocation, explain why and how you would manage the transition. Interviewers may ask about your availability and when you can start. Be prepared to discuss your current commitments, notice period, and any flexibility you have. Clear communication about your start date helps the agency plan for onboarding and transition. You may be asked about your salary expectations. Research typical pay ranges for the position and be ready to discuss your requirements. Focus on your interest in the role and agency, but be honest about your needs. If possible, express flexibility and a willingness to negotiate. At the end of the interview, you'll usually have a chance to ask your own questions. Prepare thoughtful questions about the agency, team, or role. This shows your interest and helps you determine if the job is the right fit for you. Good questions might include asking about training opportunities, team culture, or upcoming projects. To wrap up, remember that preparation is key to succeeding in a state interview. Review the agency's mission, practice answering common questions, and think about examples from your experience that demonstrate your skills and values. Approach the interview with confidence, honesty, and a genuine desire to serve the public. With the right preparation, you'll be ready to tackle any question and make a strong impression.